I'm a real estate agent, and my face is my calling card. I was at a wedding reception at Apollo's, and what was supposed to be a joyous and happy occasion turned into tragedy, and I ended up in the emergency room.
Tell me about your restaurant, Mr. Papadopoulos.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm the owner and operator of an authentic Greek restaurant, Apollo's Taverna. Outside of Greece, we have the best spanakopita and moussaka in the world.
Now, do you host a lot of wedding receptions?
Yes, we do, Your Honor. Indeed. I am a second-generation Greek. My family is from the island of Crete. My parents, God rest their souls, opened up the restaurant Apollo's Taverna.
So, Miss Morris, tell me about this wedding and how your eye was injured.
Your Honor, one of my clients invited me to his wedding. The wedding was held at a really nice Greek Orthodox church. It was beautiful. But afterwards, the reception was held at Apollo's Taverna. And I can't complain. The food was amazing.
Thank you.
The place was beautiful. I brought a date with me and we were having a great time. But as the night progressed, everybody started drinking. There was a lot of wine. It got very rowdy.
Weddings can be that way.
Yeah. And they started to do the traditional Greek smashing of the plates in the middle of the floor and everything. Your Honor, I had never been to a Greek wedding before. So this was the first for me. So I got up from where I was sitting and I went to take a picture. I was curious. I've never been to this. So when I got closer, all of a sudden, I felt this loud crash on the right side of my face, and a piece of the plate just burst into my eyeball. It sliced my face open. There was blood everywhere. It was the worst feeling ever. My face felt like it was on fire, like it was burning. My date that was with me had to pick me up and take me straight to the emergency room.
So a piece of a plate hit your actual eyeball?
A shard of it went into my eyeball, yes.
Mr. Papadopoulos, that's not how a wedding reception is supposed to turn out, right?
No, Your Honor.
Well, how is this supposed to happen?
Well, let me tell you, plate smashing is a time-honored tradition, especially at Greek weddings. Centuries ago, they would smash their plates to trick the evil spirits into thinking that the people were angry and mad instead of celebrating. Today, we smash plates at weddings to symbolize the married couple letting go of their past life and moving forward into their new life together. So at this wedding reception, it was no different than any other that we have. We smashed plates. It was a request of the bridal party.
Your Honor,
we simply
I
honored the
researched
request.
this.
May I finish, please?
We're gonna have order in this court. Y'all can't talk to each other. You talk to me.
That was an emphatic hammering of the gavel.
I understand the importance of the tradition, but someone nearly lost an eye. Why wouldn't that be your fault?
Well, Your Honor, she knew there was going to be plate smashing at the time of the reception. It was open and obvious. It was written on the wedding invitation in black and white that there will be plate smashing, number one. Number two, I made an announcement prior to the reception and the plate smashing that there would be plate smashing. She was fully aware. She should have taken responsibility for herself. If she had any concerns of her own welfare, she should have removed herself from the reception.
Well, under the law, that's an open and obvious danger, setting aside any other facts. Why wouldn't you know the danger?
Your Honor, I had never been to a Greek wedding before.
But you've read an invitation before,
Yes,
right?
Your Honor. But I did some research on this, and now the Greek weddings, what they throw are napkins and flowers. They do not do plate smashing anymore.
But Miss Morris, he did an announcement at the beginning and said there will be plate smashing, not flowers and napkins, right? Why didn't you just get up and get out of there?
Your Honor, I was under the impression that the plate smashing was just going to be in one area, and one of his waiters walked around and they were smashing plates everywhere. I had no idea that that's how plate smashing went. I had never been to a wedding like this, Your Honor.
See, under the law, open and obvious dangers don't need a warning because everyone can see its danger, right?
I didn't know.
And this is a very important tradition, right?
Yes, she should have removed herself, knowing that that was going to take part.
Or maybe you should have removed her and anybody else that didn't want to get hit with a plate. Papadopoulos, when this is done right, what kind of plate are you supposed to use?
Your Honor, we use plaster plates.
Okay.
In fact, I have a photo.
Sheriff, will you get this photograph?
This is a photograph of a carton of plaster plates that we buy from my restaurant supplier.
Okay. Miss Morris, did you see who threw the plate?
His waiters were all drunk that night. They were drinking and
my
taking
waiters don't
shots.
drink on the job, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Semita.
the plate that hit my eye was a piece of a ceramic plate. I have proof of it.
Show me.
This is a piece of the ceramic plate that hit my eye.
Sheriff Matt, will you get that piece
In
of
the
the
middle
plate?
of everything that was happening, I was able to pick that up and put it in a napkin. I brought it in for you today. And it's actually in the picture.
So a piece of this kind of material actually got into your eyeball.
Yes, Your Honor. It was
Your Honor,
extremely
if I may?
painful.
Mr. Papadopoulos, your folks aren't supposed to be throwing these plates, right?
Exactly. What I think happened is one of the dinner guests accidentally picked up one of the dinner plates, a ceramic plate, and threw that by mistake. And I can't be held responsible for something
Talking to
dinner
me.
guests did. I'm sorry, sir.
Talk to me.
I'm so sorry.
That's clear enough, right?
Yes, sir. You're.
Please talk to me.
I cannot be held responsible for something that one of my dinner guests did at the wedding.
Your
But if
Honor.
one of your employees is throwing it, you understand that you're responsible.
I did not see any of my employees throwing a ceramic plate. We have none of the waiters seeing anybody throwing a ceramic plate. There are no eyewitnesses to any of my people throwing a ceramic plate.
To understand the difference between a ceramic plate and a plaster plate, this court has consulted a ceramicist, Miss Daphne Dale. Sheriff, will you get Miss Daphne Dale in the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor.
How are you, Miss Dale?
I'm good, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for being here. Now, we've been discussing the difference between a plaster plate and a ceramic plate. What is the difference?
First of all, a plaster plate is never fired in a kiln, meaning it still has moisture in it and it's still very porous. So when it breaks, the edges are soft and rounded. A ceramic plate will be fired in a kiln, and so the edges will be like glass. They'll be sharp and jagged, just like glass.
Can you demonstrate how they come apart when they're shattered?
Absolutely.
All right. Which one are you going to throw first?
First, I'll break the plaster plate. And next, I'll break the ceramic plate. As you can see, there's quite a bit of difference between the two shards. The plaster one is quite soft and rounded on the edges. The ceramic one is a lot more like glass. It's quite sharp and quite dangerous.
All right, thank you, ma'am. We appreciate you.
Thank
You are
you.
released. Ms. Morris, you're asking this court to award you $25,000 for your past medical expenses and $15,000 for your future medical expenses. Tell me about your injuries.
Your Honor, I suffered severe eye injuries.
I think she's exaggerating.
I lost my peripheral vision.
Hold on for a minute. You do realize that this young lady got an injury to her eye, maybe a permanent injury.
I am very sorry.
Well, one thing I'm not going to stand for in this courtroom is an insult or you being dismissive.
Yes,
You
sir.
understand I haven't made my decision yet. You might want to hold off on that kind of attitude. Ms. Morris, tell me about your injuries.
Your Honor, I cannot see. I can't drive a car right now. I can't sell my houses anymore. I can't even go to the grocery store without having people look at me. I have severe lacerations on my face, and I'm gonna have to have ongoing surgeries.
I want to understand the nature of her injuries from a medical perspective. So this court has consulted Dr. Tamika Walker-Blake. She's an emergency room physician. Sheriff Matt, will you get Dr. Walker-Blake in the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Wow, they have two experts on this one? That's interesting.
Good day, doctor.
Good day.
Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Can you explain the nature of the plaintiff's injuries?
So the plates had suffered a inner eyelid laceration. That laceration severed her lacrimal or tear duct system, which affects the eye's ability to make tears.
So what's done to repair this injury?
An ophthalmologist performs surgery where they'll place a stent or a tiny tube to repair that duct and allow the eye's ability to make tears again. Tears are very important to the health of your eyes. It helps to decrease infection, it helps to clean your eyes, and if you don't make tears, your cornea could be affected, and that could end up with permanent vision loss.
Well, with these kinds of injuries, what's Miss Morris's prognosis?
So there is a 70% chance approximately she'll have a full recovery, but however, there's always a chance she'll have permanent eye problems.
Doctor, thank you so much. We appreciate you. You are released.
Thank you.
Ms. Morris, your face is pale as you listen to this testimony. What should have been an exciting event for you really turned into a nightmare.
It did, Your Honor, it did.
Ms. Morris, you've shared this shard with us today. I'm looking at it. It's clear that this kind of glass cut your eye.
Yes.
How do you know that it was not another guest?
Your Honor, I have proof. I have a photo evidence.
Sheriff Matt, will you get the photograph?
The waiter that threw it, that was actually provided to me from one of my customers, a client that I attended the wedding to, and he provided that picture for me. He was drunk, multiple people saw him, and as you can see, he's holding a ceramic plate because it shines in the light.
His face just looks evil. Like he has he's like, I'm gonna break this plate. Dude, that's scary.
It's a ceramic plate, it's not plaster.
Mr. Papadopoulos, is that gentleman in the back with a ceramic plate one of your employees?
That is one of my employees, Your Honor, but I don't know. I don't know if he was just posing for a picture that somebody was taking. I mean, I can't even tell if that's a ceramic plate.
There's a rim on that plate. Wouldn't it be this kind of plate?
Yes, Your Honor, but like I said, I don't know that that was ever thrown.
Folks, I think I've heard what I need to hear. I'm ready to render my decision.
So the decision's coming up. What do you guys think the verdict is going to be? Do you think he's going to rule in favor of the plaintiff or the defendant? Let me know.
In every personal injury case, the plaintiff, you, Miss Morris, you've got to prove three things. You've got to prove that Mr. Papadopoulos or one of his employees were wrong, that their wrong caused your harm.
Yes.
Your harm is beyond dispute. I'm not going to address that because it is clear that you've had a terrible injury. You've put up evidence today that you go to a wedding reception, you expect to have fun, see folks get married. It's all happy when it goes right. But this one went wrong because one of Mr. Papadopoulos' employees smashed a ceramic plate and a shard went into your eye and changed your life forever. Mr. Papadopoulos, you believe this is fairly simple. She's coming to a Greek wedding. The tradition is to smash the plates, and the plates were smashed. She got hit in the eye, and you don't believe it's sufficient proof that one of your employees threw a ceramic plate sending shards around the room. But most of all, you believe it's her fault because she knew what was going to happen at the wedding. Well, this is very simple in terms of the law. Family traditions, societal traditions, they are very important because they mark big events in our lives. But whether you're jumping the broom or shooting a shotgun off in the 4th of July or carrying someone on your shoulders at a wedding reception, those are all potentially dangerous activities. And the law says, regardless of the occasion, you must be safe. And if you're going to engage in dangerous activities, you must protect the people around you. Here, this is a dangerous activity, throwing plaster or ceramic. And I saw no evidence that you, Mr. Papadopoulos, put safety measures in, either making sure your employees were not throwing plates or making sure that customers were out of the zone of danger. When you don't protect your customers, you are responsible under the law. And therefore, I find in your favor, Ms. Morris, I'm going to award you $25,000 for your past medical expenses, $15,000 for your future medical expenses, and every penny of your pain and suffering of $100,000 for a total award of $140,000 against the defendant. That is my final award, and this matter is adjourned.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that verdict. I'm not surprised by that verdict by Gino. I think he's absolutely right. You know, the thing about how the owner of the restaurant, he has the responsibility to make sure that everything is going well and everything is safe, especially when you're doing something as dangerous as breaking plates. So what do you guys think about the judgment? Do you think it was too much, too little, or just right? I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know. Love ya.